Hey, good morning, guys. We got a really nasty storm coming today, and it's been thundering a little bit, lightning, and so we're going to build a model today and keep us indoors because it's 85 degrees out and still thunderstorming and windy and everything else, so there's nothing else we can do outside, so we're just gonna stay indoors today and build a model. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. All right, guys, we are going to do the next model, the Deserter by MPC. It's a 1984 GMC pickup truck. This is close to my heart because I graduated high school in 1984. And I like this. This was like the truck everybody wanted when I was in high school. So it's got a ton of decals. It's got a front bull bar with a winch. It's got the old school lights on top of the roll bar. It's got some oversized tires on this thing. It's got the V8 engine in it, and it's also got the lift kit on here. So this is I may paint it two-tone like this, very old school. Don't know if I'll go red and black, maybe go red and white because I like the red and whites better, but we're gonna go ahead and build this one, the Deserter from MPC and from GMC. And so stay tuned and we'll put this together and paint and everything else. So see you shortly. So number one, you have the MPC instruction sheet. There's what, 10 steps, 12 steps with this thing, 13, 14, 15 steps. So they got 15 steps on here. Pretty easy to follow. I like their instruction sheet. You have the chassis right here. So it's the frame with the front chassis done. The back still has to have the axles and everything put on, same with the front. So here is your axles with the lift kit already installed. So it's all molded in black, which is really good because it'll be able to show out the details if we don't paint it in black. All right, so you have the chassis. You've got the cab right there. You've got the bed right here. Bed's already put together. So you have the three major pieces here. You've got a tree for the engine parts. Right here, it's pretty much a stock engine for these, the V8 that came with these back in the day. You then have, let's see, what is this? The tailgate? Well, you have this is wheels, some suspension stuff on here. You got, yeah, different suspension pieces. And then this is a toolbox that fits in the bed right there, so you can put this in the bed. You've got the tree that's got a console. It's got another brush bar, smaller brush bar, transfer cases, the exhaust system, the visor up here if you want to put a visor on. You have your interior tub right there. You've got this tree that has a big brush bar on it. The roll bar on it. What's this stuff? Oh, the winch. So you've got that on that one. And then on the interior, you've got a really detailed firewall with wiring, heater core, all the stuff on there, brakes and everything. You've got a nice battery. You've got your dashboard here, steering wheel there, radiator here, radiator support, and then your hood. And it looks like the hood has an area that if you wanted to cut it out for some reason, maybe you have some parts in your other part box and you wanted to cut that out, you could. You've got your clear glass pieces, tail lights on this one, and then finally you have a chrome tree that has two separate types of wheels. You have big wheels, you got the smaller wheels there, and then you got all the chrome pieces, got bumpers, you've got the CB antenna, They got the grill, you got all your spotlights and stuff and parts for the engine, but tons of lights. Lights here, lights here, lights here. You've got steps and everything else. So you have that, and then you have 4 massive tires, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't come with stock tires, so it comes with the big tires. Anyway, so that's what we have to work with. I'm gonna start putting the major components together, and then when I come back, we'll have the major components together, and then we'll be ready for paint. So, see you then. Putting all the stuff together here. A couple things, the tires, I just glued them together. You can leave the center open, but just make sure that if you do, you know it's gonna roll. So the tires are all together right now. The rears, the axles, whatever, you know, call them rears with gears. These are together. The engine is together. Now you have a couple choices. You can use either chrome or painted valve covers. Also, you have a choice of headers or your standard. So you can either put the headers on, which are over here, or you could put the standard exhaust, factory exhaust tips on. Like I said, here's the unpainted valve covers, or you can use the chrome valve covers. I'll probably use the chrome ones on that. So this is actually ready for paint at this moment. Now, putting together the chassis here, you're gonna need to use, if you're gonna do it as a lifted truck, which you basically have to do with those tires, this is the lift kit that's going to go on it. So these are the lift kits. As you can see, there's a lot of flash. I don't know if you can see the flash. This kit has some flash in it, okay? Doesn't make it a bad kit, just makes it an older kit. So see all the flash, the extra plastic that's around there? So you could take sandpaper like I'm doing. You can use a razor blade sometimes to do that. And then when you're clipping the things off so they don't break, I just use this old pair of clippers that I have here. So we're gonna be working on the lift kit. It's not hard if you look at steps 6 and 7 here. So 6 and 7, this is all the underneath, this is all the suspension. And so you have to put all these little tabs. So just, you know, follow the directions. It's done. Number 14 goes here. You have all the directions right there. Very easy to put together. The other thing is the axles on this. These axles will probably have to be sanded down. So at the end to fit into the tires. So just be aware you have to sand down these tips after they're done, or you can remount the tire a little bit more. I find it easier just to sand down the tips. So that's where we're at right now. We're working on this. I haven't decided on the headers or anything yet, so I don't know whether we'll go headers or not, but we're just getting everything ready to paint. Like I said, it's a thunderstorm day outside, so it's a really nice thing to do when you're just bored and sitting inside. Have a couple model kits and you can put them all together. So that's what we're doing, and just letting you know where we're at. We'll come back. I may come back before that, but we're gonna come back when all the sub-assemblies are ready to go. All right. So we've put all this together. It took about, I don't know, maybe an hour, but I wasn't really, you know, just busting hard. I just had to take my time. So we have the tail. We've got the, oops, let me pull it out. So we have the roll bar. So that's drying. That's getting ready to paint. Wheels are done. Engine's ready to be painted. We went over, so here is the chassis and with the lift kit put in. So I did not put the exhaust in because we're going to paint the exhaust, which is right there. We're going to paint that silver before we put it in. Not sure what color. Probably just do this black. So you can see the lift kit. You can see there's two parts, or there's a couple parts that are with the kit, and some of them go with the lift kit, some of them don't go with the lift kit. And so make sure, because you're going to have some stuff left over, like these shocks will be left over. There's some things that are left over because they weren't used with the lifted version. Got all our interior parts here getting ready to be painted. Not sure what color we're going to do the interior yet. We've got our firewall done with our brakes are on there. So, and then this is going to be painted body color, so that's ready there. We've got some engine pieces here. This will all be painted a different color. I'm not sure yet. This is going to be silver. I'm thinking I'll probably paint this silver as well. Put the roll bar. I may put the lights on before, may put them on after. I'm not sure. But we've got everything here ready to be painted. So the next thing we'll do is we'll do paint. What is that? Oh, that's the winch. And then transfer case right here. So we're going to paint. You'll see all the paints we use because I always show them when we're painting. I believe I'm going to paint this orange. Interior is probably going to do tan. I like tan interiors. But everything's first going to get a black primer on it. And then we'll go from there, except for the tires and wheels. These are done. These don't need to be painted or anything. They're ready to go. So everything else will be painted and primered. And then we'll come back and we'll start putting it together. We're not chrome pieces here. These were just black, and so I painted it white to start with, then some chrome on there. Same with down here on the winch. So it's all going to dry, and then that's the last piece, except for painting the body. Alright guys, we've got the interior bucket done. Here's our dashboard. We haven't put that together yet. We've painted it, and we're painting it with craft paints. Like here's one of them. That's wood grain in there, which I think I used, yeah, over here. So I used the Golden Sunset. Looks kind of like wood grain, which all the Chevy square bodies have. So we've got our shifter in there, we've got the dashboard, we've got a console, we've got our seats, and our steering wheel. So I'm going to glue that together. We're going to finish up the engine overnight, because this is Sunday morning. Overnight, we put that part of the grill together. We have this part of the grill. As you can see, I painted this chrome. This piece, I just used that chrome spray paint, and then we put the lights in. We've attached this to the bumper to get the lights here. You can just use a Sharpie. Same with the lights right there, a Sharpie. And then we test fit everything on the truck so far. So if we take a look at the test fit here, let's pop this off because it's not glued. So we built the roll bar and then painted this with chrome paint, because I like chrome roll bars. And so basically we put it in the bed to dry, so it's now dry, and we put the lights on it. And then here's the tailgate. So I went with a two-tone creamsicle. So this is white. I was going to put the orange down here too, but I kind of like it. Looks more custom when it's just the two-tone instead of the white insert. And then let's take the hood off here. And we're going to take this body off. So this truck didn't take that long to put together so far, but because of these big tires that this has and the suspension, which we're still not done with, we still have to put the engine and drive shafts and everything in, but because the tires are so big, I wanted to let it sit overnight because they're kind of heavy. But anyway, we also put the glass in last night, as you can see, with Mod Podge. If you haven't used Mod Podge, it dries clear. And then we used a silver Sharpie right here to do all the chrome around the windows and all before we put the glass in. So that is where we're at now. I still have to put the winch together and put the winch in here. We have to put the bumpers on. Here's the engine. It's all dry. Everything else, it's all ready to get completed here. And then we're going to use the panel line accent color here, black, and we'll finish up all the grills, and this really will make everything stand out. The mesh inside the lights, the mesh in the grills, all that kind of stuff. And then once we get that and the exhaust and all the other stuff on, which we'll do in a little bit, we're going to put these decals on right here. The GMC decals, I think they're going to go on really nice, and they're going to go right along the body line right there. So we're really just going to use these. I might put some hooker header and some of these things in the back window, because we're building this exactly from the kit. So I don't take anything from the other kits. We're not custom building it. So everything that you see here, you can do if you buy the kit and paint. That's all it is. It's a kit and some paint. But we might put like some hooker header, like some of these things in the window, as if the guy bought when he bought the truck. You know, as he put stuff on the engine. A lot of people back in the 80s would just, you put your wind intakes and poly carbs and your hooker headers and stuff in there. So we might put some of those in the back window. Hearse shifter. Other than that, we're not going to use any of the real big ones, I don't think. Just the GMC stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this together. You might see me put some together. I might just put it together. But I'll come back before we put the decals on and I'll put it back when we have everything ready to go. Once we have all we have to do is put the body on. Big things with pickup trucks is making sure that there's a body fit, that everything fits. And this one has a really good body fit. So anyway, I like this kit a lot. I hope you do too, and make it any way you want because it's your kit. So you can just do however you want. I wanted to do it orange sickle, that's what I'm calling it, and it'll be done soon. Like I said, it didn't take long. It's just a matter of letting things dry. Orange paint for some reason takes a long time to dry, and then a lot of this stuff like these bumpers and all, they're just so I started it yesterday. I've probably put about 3 hours total into it yesterday, and then whatever it is today. So a couple hours today and we'll be done. So stay tuned. All right, we're back a little bit here. So as you can see, we finished the engine. Distributor cap is not perfect yet. I gotta make sure we get that. So anyway, got the engine, and we've got the exhaust system in. Got the transfer case here. So we're gonna do a test fit. We did install the interior and the glass. So now next is make sure that the engine can fit and that everything's sitting the way it's supposed to. And if you look, there's 2 pins here. See these 2 pins? So this should sit flat, or when it gets glued in, it'll sit flat. And then we have the bed. So that should all line up. It all does line up. So this is a molding issue, which I saw pointed out from a couple other people online before I built this, that there's this door or something, whatever this is, on the bed. And actually, I gotta trim that piece. Good thing we looked at it, because I want to trim it right now. There we go. Anyway, so I don't know if Chevy trucks came with this door thing here or whatever. It could just be I don't know why there's a panel line there, but there is on both sides. But the actual bed curves in a little bit too much on this side. On this side it doesn't do it as much, but on here it does. And I don't know how noticeable it'll be at the end, but I'm assuming it'll be a little bit noticeable since it seems to be on every person that built this model. But that's just how it is, so I'm not really too upset with it or what it is. I mean, if you see a lot of real trucks, a lot of times the beds, especially on these older trucks, there is a little bit of a gap there. So Anyway, we're just doing some test fitting. We've got the front bumper winch assembly and everything is ready to go. We've got the rear bumper or rear tailgate's ready to go. Goes this way. And I used a red Sharpie for the GMC lettering. So we're getting here. I said a lot of it gets into details, mirrors and all this kind of stuff that we'll just get into. But I'm just going through here, going through the directions, making sure that all the parts, because look at all the spare parts. I mean, this thing has tons of parts that we haven't used and we probably won't use. There are push guards and all kinds of stuff here that are not going to be used. You know, they have the covers here for the lights if you want to use them. I'm not going to use them because I would like to have little smiley faces on there, but anyway, neither here nor there. So, and as you can see, we blacked the grill, so that's ready to go. All right, we'll be back shortly. I'm still working on this chassis. Next is to put the drive shafts in, but just wanted to do a quick test fit. And okay, how did this come out? There we go. So just doing test fits, and yes, it's a sloppy area when I'm working. Sometimes you see these guys on the internet, which I don't know how they do it, but on YouTube, like everything is always clean and perfect, but this is my mess. When I'm actually working, this is my mess. I try to clean up when I show you stages of what we're doing, but we're not there yet. Soon, so I'll be back. Okay, so we've put the transfer case in, we've put the drive shafts in, so the drive shafts are in, so the whole suspension area, so the whole suspension is now in. We've got our drive shafts in, we've got everything done as far as suspension, we've got the engine done, transfer case, we just put in the hoses, the battery, we just put in the radiator support. So the next thing is we did a test fit. I just did a test fit because while this is still drying, it's a good time to put this in. So next thing is now it's time for me to put this and glue the cab on. So for this, for gluing the cab on, I'm just kind of funny. I like to use Mod Podge for that because I just do. I don't know. I just use Mod Podge for gluing cabs in. So the reason that I use the Mod Podge when I'm putting pickup cabs on, and actually a lot of different car bodies, is because it will dry completely invisibly. Excuse me, without distorting or anything. And so if I get, you know, when you're putting these on, a lot of times it's such a pain and you end up getting a little bit on the actual outside paint or whatever. And so you're not sure exactly where it's going to sit. Like that right there. Looks like it's where it's supposed to sit. And let me throw the back. So let me throw the back one here and see if that's where it's going to sit. And for some reason that is not sitting the way it should. This should sit a little bit higher so that this is even. And alright. So we're lining up the body line. That's really what counts. And let me stand back a little bit. And Well, that's the body line. So we're good. So we're just gonna let this, it should go under there. Okay. So we are where we should be. And we're just gonna let that sit. And that can dry like it is. Okay. Let's make sure the hood will fit. Okay. All right. So we're gonna let this dry for a while. I got to go mow the lawn. So as I'm mowing the lawn for the next hour or so, this will dry. By the time I'm done, it will be dry, and then we can put the front grill on and all the accessories, roll cage and everything. We'll put the bed in, get that all settled. All right, there we go. Cab is glued on. We got the front grill glued on. Everything is just drying right now. When we come back, you'll see the final assembly. We've got the bed and tailgate and bumper guards and everything right like that. So once we come back, you'll see the whole model kit will be together. All right, guys, so we are at the very end of the build. So we've done the build, we've done the paint. Couple things, issues with this kit, and we haven't put any of the decals on. We're going to do that in a minute. But as far as the build and paint, so couple things. The truck bed on both sides curls in right there and there, and not sure why that is. It just is. And one of the things you'll notice, which happens with a lot of pickup trucks, and I was paying more attention to this side, the driver's side, but over here I didn't pay as much attention, and so this, when it was glued on, it went down a little bit, you know. But you know what, in real life I have seen so many real pickup trucks where the beds aren't aligned, especially something that goes four-wheeling or whatever, so I'm okay with that. If you notice, there's a little bit of orange coming through right there. Nothing I can do about that either. Nothing I'm gonna do about that. Other than that, I think the truck came out really stupendous. I really like this model. A lot of people for some reason don't. The hood is a little bit warped. If you see, it pops up here, but if you push down there, it pops up over there. Nothing you can do about it, so you just deal with the best you can. So not a lot of detail under the hood. I kind of just left it like it would be stock motor. Didn't even put the headers on it or anything. Not a lot of paint detail, just kind of left it like you would get it from the factory, figuring the guy who owns this would probably be more concerned with, you know, his lift kits and everything that you can see from the outside. Got the nice winch on here, is all with the fog lights there, and the bumper guard obviously. But the kit came out really well. This is a, I guess it's a toolbox. I don't know what it is, storage box or something that comes with the kit. I like that. I didn't put the CB antenna on. It does have these steps that I could put somewhere. Maybe I could put them there. I don't know. And it does have 2 extra fog lights. I haven't figured out a place to put them if I'm going to put them anywhere. The back came out really looking nice. This chrome insert's really cool. That came on the chrome tree. And I mean, it's a nice model. It's a good looking model. I think it's a good looking model. I like the orange sickle paint job that I put on it instead of all black. And underneath it's just a flat black, except for the exhaust and some of the, you know, the shock absorbers and everything. But all in all, I like the way the model came out. It's exactly from the box. So anytime I build models, I don't use parts from other cars. I don't use anything that's didn't come with this kit. So if you like this model, sorry, I'm a little tired. If you like this model, you can build this exact model from the kit. All you really need is white spray paint, orange spray paint, red spray paint, and chrome spray paint, and a silver Sharpie. And what else do you need? Oh, some silver paint for that. And then for the interior, I just used some water-based craft paints in there that look like wood. Oh, I did do an off-white, so that's off-white in here, and this is white out there. Anyway, last thing I'm gonna do is put on the only stickers or decals I'm gonna use on this, I think, are just gonna be the GMC decals. The red stripes are gonna be put on along the stripes, and that's it. So when I return, you'll see the finished product. Alright folks, here it is, the finish with the decals. The only decals I used on the whole sheet were just the GMC and the stripe, which on this side looks really, really nice because everything lines up. Not so much the other side, but that's okay. As I said, a lot of times in a real four-wheel drive, especially ones with lift kits, the beds are a little off anyway, so in the real trucks. But here is the deserter. And that is the model kit that we had for this week. Here's the box that went with it. Here we go, right there. Actually, let me move this forward just a tad. There you go. So that is the deserter, and we walked you through how to build the whole thing, and like I said, there's a couple little minor issues right there where it doesn't line up. Evidently that's in all of them because everybody complains about it. The hood's just a little bit warped, no big deal. It took me, I started this yesterday morning, took about 4 hours yesterday and about 2 hours today. That's for paint, dry, everything. Actual build time on this is probably about 3 hours for the build, but because of the four-wheel drive, because of all the underneath suspension and everything, and these giant tires, to make sure that everything kind of was there and okay, it takes a couple hours for drying. Same with the front here. If you're looking at the grill here with the winch and the bumpers and all this stuff, just that alone you need to allow for really good set time. The lights on top of the roll bar, good set time. But other than that, lots of spare parts that came with this for your parts box if you need it. All kinds of lights and other things and steps and all kinds of stuff. A whole new set of rims which don't fit these tires, but they fit regular tires, so you wouldn't be able to use those other rims with this kit anyway, but hey, you have another set of rims. So it's got a brush bar that comes with a smaller one that you could have used, but I wanted the big one there. And so this is basically creamsicle orange with creamsicle coloring, but I think it looks really, really good. I love the bed. I love the back view on this thing. I like the front. Now, one thing that I will point out is it does have turn signals in the grill. They don't show it on the box, but in the grill it does have the turn signals, so you'll be able to highlight those like I did. It does have a V8. You don't have to use on the interior, you don't have to use the console, but I liked that it had the 2 cup holders, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, I didn't put the steps on or anything else, and it has a ton of decals I can use on something else down the road. But I'm glad we built this. I put off building this for a couple months. I've had the kit on the shelf for a couple months, but I really liked it, and I love the colors. Like I said, I was going to do orange down here, just do the white insert like the old Chevys used to have and the old GMs, but I just like the two-tone like this. It came out really good. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done it. There's a whole bunch of Model Mondays. If you go into the Model Monday video list, there's a whole video list of Model Mondays we've been doing for I think 2 years now. So we have those, we have real stuff. But anyway, I appreciate you watching, and this was just for a nice rainy weekend where it's too dang hot here in Florida in July to go out and do something else. So I just decided, let's build a model kit. Alright, have a great day. Thanks guys. Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.